A-E-1 short.
Hi, I'm Briar Magee. I'm a musical theater performer. I was in the casting process. It makes me happy thinking about it. Over quarantine, my sisters and I were super bored. We made some remixes to songs, like my dad writes all the remixes. We started performing in restaurants and on the street, and I got seen by a production manager of the Adirondack Theater Festival who was casting for The King's Wife for this little supporting role, 15-year-old girl, and they wanted me. And this is at some time somewhere for the AT1 radio. I am a theater baby, fully. It's crazy. My parents both met at the Williamstown Theater Festival, fell in love there, and then they had me. And I've been doing theater since I was a little kid. My dad is kind of an actor. He dabbles. So he was Archibald Craven in The Secret Garden, and me and my two little sisters made our theater debut as young kids that die of cholera in the prologue of that show. So that was my debut. Fell in love with it. I loved portraying a dying child. It was great. I grew up in upstate New York, and I know there's a lot of definitions of what upstate New York is. My definition, and the correct definition, is an hour north of Albany. I live near Lake George, New York, which is where I did all my theater as a kid. I was a part of Lake George Youth Theater, which is a little high school theater program, which has now been closed since COVID. They do 3 musicals in 4 weeks every single summer. Kids age 12 to 18, and I did it from 12 to 16 because COVID hit when I was 16. And yeah, it was a great experience for me because I just got to do any kind of show. We did Evita to Avenue Q. It was a wide variety of shows every summer. They picked the weirdest shows. I actually did some extra work. I started when I was 16 during COVID, which was very interesting. That I did Billions in New York City. It's a Showtime show starring Paul Giamatti. I haven't seen it personally, but my mother and my father are the biggest fans. They are obsessed. So my mom was like, Briar, we're going to go do this little shoot in New York. Because Billions actually, it shot and filmed in Lake George for a little bit, which is right near where I live. So we tried to do a Lake George shoot, didn't work out. Then we got approved to be extras in a New York City shoot. And I had no clue what I was doing, but my mom was there. My youngest sister, Finley, was there. And we just walked around on camera, and my mom was geeking out the entire time because we were right next to the stars. It was a really cool experience because I recorded it. I learned what cut meant. I learned what continuity was. I learned so much that I didn't know because I'd never been behind a camera or in front of a camera. I've been behind a camera, but all you do is you just walk around and pretend like you have a life. It's kind of sad, but it's a great experience for starting out, like learning how film works and just sitting and waiting. It's a lot of sit and wait. Oh, of course, musical theater too. Like I was just in Tech Week for the Threepenny Opera at Manhattan School of Music, which is the college I go to. And you just have to sit and wait. They've got to light you. You've got to wait. Light the other scenes you're not in. You've got to wait. It's, a lot of patience. Before I get to The King's Wife, my college does this thing called the Lab Series where they invite new musical writers and they have us collaborate with them in readings of musicals. And I was recently in one called A Million Aisles Away. It's about Black Friday. It's a really funny show about just these two people that fall in love on Black Friday. And it's really random. I played a little supporting role, but it was really cool being part of a reading because it's just troubleshooting. It's just seeing what lands, what doesn't land, adding lines right before you go on for the reading. It's a really cool experience because I can see that this is a baby. Yeah. It's just a baby because musicals go through such a process before they're actually on a stage. Yeah. So this summer I was in The King's Wife, which was just a concert presentation of this musical that has had a reading and is hopefully going to have a staged production, or actually it's announced now that they're going to have a staged production in Indiana. But this musical is completely new. No one's played these roles. It's fresh, and I've never worked with fresh material like that before. I think with certain musicals, there's a certain respect you have to pay to an actor who has made that role. But with this, it was really cool because I just got to play around, make it me. And I think there were certain things in The King's Wife that they didn't realize was funny. And then I would go on and the audience would laugh. I didn't even really think it was that funny, but it was. I didn't realize how comedic my character actually was until I got out into the audience, because I think that's another important thing. Of course, it's the aspects that the actors contribute to the role, but it's also what the audience likes about it. Over quarantine, my sisters and I were super bored. We made some remixes to songs, like my dad writes all the remixes. So we did a Dancing Queen remix. You are the dancing queen, but instead of Dancing Queen, it was Stuck in the Quarantine. So we made videos along with them, and we loved it. And I always knew how to harmonize as a little kid. I knew how to go a third up, a third below. And then my sisters started learning in quarantine, and so we started doing these 3-part harmony covers of any song we wanted. We did some mashups. My dad loves writing mashups. He just finds chord progressions that works and then sticks the songs together. But we started performing in restaurants and on the street, and I got seen by a production manager of the Adirondack Theater Festival who was casting for The King's Wife for this little supporting role, 15-year-old girl, and they wanted me. I think every show, every performance you're in is an audition, because someone could be out there looking at you and thinking, hey, I could use them for this, I could use them for that, which is exactly what the producer saw in me. I got very, very lucky. I've always been creative. I've always loved making videos, like the quarantine video with my sisters. Very creative person, love film, love being on my phone, love scrolling. I've had TikTok since it was Musical.ly, the app that was what it was before it was bought. And then I just started posting these comedy sketches with my sisters, and they got attention. And I just went from 200 followers to 50,000 followers. And then my parents found the account and they were like, hey, what's this?
Your parents didn't know about
No, they didn't, because I didn't expect to blow up. You know what it was? I just remembered this. I made the account with my friends. We all made a bet. Whoever gets to 10K first wins. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Wow. Well, I won.
You made a bet with your friends?
Yeah, like 4 of us. We made this group chat and we were like, let's get TikTok famous, guys. And so I guess that's how that started. I can't believe I forgot about that. I released my EP, The Sleuth, very recently under the name Briar. Just Briar. No last name.
We're going eponymous.
BRIAR.
Eponymous.
Yeah. It's a 4-song EP, my first ever release. I performed some of the songs with my sisters over the summer. It's pretty much a breakup album, but the songs are relatively joyful sounding. Okay. Like a Lizzie McAlpine, Phoebe Bridgers, Gracie Abrams vibe, like acoustic pop. Besides when I was working on The King's Wife, I was recording. I would go from rehearsal down the street because their office is in Glens Falls. Yes. And I would just record. I had these songs written relatively recently. I've been writing since I was 12. Maybe even before 12. That's a good story. I had a really healthy childhood, never heard my parents arguing, never heard them fighting, right? But there was this one day where I could kind of hear them squabbling over something. Had never heard my parents argue, and I was like 9 years old, and I was like, oh my God, they're gonna get a divorce. So I wrote this song. Had never written a song before. In my notebook, wrote out lyrics saying like, please don't get a divorce, please don't do this to me, blah, 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 blah. I didn't have any instruments that I wrote it with, so anytime the melody would go up or down, I'd write an arrow above the word going up and down so I could remember the melody a little bit. I wish I had a picture of this notebook because it looked crazy. It was like hieroglyphic writings, but I never performed it for them. They didn't divorce. They're fine. I just heard them arguing about something, but that's where it all started, and now I've got a 4-song EP out on all platforms. I think the career that you're going into, if you're hoping to go into theater or performing in general, you're going into a theater, or you're going into a field that is full of passionate people who all support each other. It's a family. In every musical I've been in, it's been a loving environment. Everyone is welcoming. So if your family isn't specifically the most supportive, you're going to find people who support you here. You're welcomed. You're loved. Go for it, you know? On Instagram, it's Briar Magee, BriarMagee. And on TikTok, it is Briar Davie, which is my middle name, BriarDavie. Thank you.
AE1 short.
At Sometime Somewhere is produced by Audio-Technica for AT1 Radio. It is recorded at AT1 Studio at Technica House, New York. Follow AT1 Radio and Audio-Technica USA on all social media platforms. Thanks for listening.